Hello, everybody. Mike here, and bringing you an early Blade Stomp Huntress build in Path of Exile 2. Huntress is the newest class added in here with the least recent update, Dawn of the Hunt. And honestly, this class is a lot of fun. It does take a bit to get used to, as well as, try to figure out how to build around it. Because if you don't know what support gems synergize really well, then you're kind of going to be stuck a little bit and struggling a bit. But I discovered a way to make a wonderful bleed build early game work out just fine and awesome, honestly. And leveling has just been a blast with this class. And if you're into bleed builds in terms of the games like this and PoE 2, well, this is going to be right up your alley. Let's start off with skills here. Now, I am stuck with the default stuff here with parry, spear throw, and spear stab, but I don't really use spear throw, actually. Parry, yeah, I don't parry that much, but some good supports here is wind wave and unbreakable. So keep note on those. These are very good to pair together. Then when it comes to your regular basic attack, spear stab, close combat is really good. Helps deal 20% more attack damage within a certain, distance as far as enemies being close to you. And then brutality adds you more damage you can output with this skill. But the real bread and butter is going to be rake, because this is a rake bleed build. And Rake gives you +2 to melee strike range, 100% more magnitude of bleeding inflicted, deals up to 100% more damage based on distance traveled. And basically with this ability, you can just kind of like sort of dash or speed across the battlefield sometimes to get to enemies and just obliterate them. Support gems with this, I got is Heavy Swing for the time being, which deals 35% more melee physical damage, but has 10% less attack speed, which is not necessarily a big deal. Then Stomping Ground, which triggers a shockwave when you take a step while using support skills. And this combination is just insane, especially combined with Disengage, where you can combine these so you do Rake first and then Disengage for even more damage. So you can do this sort of like hit, back off, hit type of tactic. With Disengage, I put on Bloodlust. Support skills deal 30% more melee physical damage against bleeding enemies. And particularly, you're going to have enemies bleeding with Rake, so it helps out a lot. Plus other skills here that are going to help out with that. Unyielding, 8% damage taken while using support skills is recouped as life per quarter second of attack times support skills. So this is going to be really good for your life regen, survivability. And instead of the spear throw, I'm using an explosive spear because why not? It's fun. I like fire added into my builds like this and explosions. So this detonation time is fairly long, 2.5 seconds. But it's a good skill to have. It doesn't explode right away. You can help decrease that with support gems. Expedite, in particular, one of the newest ones. This allows the explosive spear to essentially detonate even faster because 40% less detonation time. And then I add in Fire Infusion, where this support attacks gain 25% of damage as extra fire damage. Why not? Doing fire damage anyway, might as well do even more damage. And the 50% less cold and lightning, not a big deal. We're not worried about that type of damage anyway here. And then I decided to act Shockwave Totem for certain situations, just to test out, see how it is. This may not stay in the build for long term, but early on right now, it's a lot of fun to help with boss fights and just mobs sometimes if I feel a bit overwhelmed. And this has a duration of 12 seconds, limit to 1 time. You can buff with certain support gems. Right now, there's only got one on here with Concentrated Effect. This deals 30% more AoE area damage, but has less AoE. So 50% less AoE, as a matter of fact. There's other stuff you can put in here, though. Like I said, may not keep this long term. This might be situational too at certain things, but the other one that's going to be great to have in here is the new Herald of Blood buff, which essentially is going to help make enemies just pop from bleed damage. So deals 15% of explode enemies' blood loss as scalable physical attack damage. 43% chance to aggravate bleeding on hit as well too, and it cannot be evaded as far as like the base physical damage can't be evaded. And the explosion radius is pretty decent too. So this combination with all these moves is going to be great. Typically, you're going to start off your attacks with Rake, and then you may want to do Disengage right after that. But most of the time, you're just going to primarily be using Rake. Explosive Spear, you'll use occasionally in there, along with Shockwave Totem. But if you just want to Rake all day when it comes to enemies, then you can do so. Let's go into the passive skill tree here. As you can see here, I focus on attack initially, I didn't really focus on defense, and I eventually had to, add into my strength for certain support gems. So I focused on strength here, along with going up to stalk and leap, and just more attack for melee and projectile damage. Did invest in some evasion as well too, so consider that as well. Cat-like agility is very good too, but get your evasion up for defense purposes. You don't necessarily have to worry about this too much right away. You can focus on the damage increases first, so you're just killing stuff faster, and then get your strength up so you can hold on to, slot in the red support gems you need. And then I went into attack damage increases over here and into splinters. So for now, this is where I'm going. I may dabble into maybe some Stomp threshold later on. I know I definitely want to go down here and make my way to the spear tree on this past skill tree, where I can do more spear critical hit chance and damage. This will definitely be more for like later on, towards the end game, I imagine. On the left side here, though, probably go down in here and get bleeding damage increased here with incision as well too. Since this is a bleed build, I want to go for bleed past skill tree points to increase stuff here, and maybe go into attack damage and skill duration as well too. Something else you can think about is going up here into attack damage and soul effect, maiming strike as well. That's a possibility. Good suggestions there as far as what you can do. In terms of the ascension, I went Amazon, and I went right into increased accuracy here, and then critical strike, because you can make this a bleed critical type of build here and add some fire in there if you want to keep that. For now, that's what I'm doing. I may go into more accuracy and go into penetrate once I get my other ascendancy points. Aside from that, for my last 4 ascendancy points, I'm not sure yet, but I'll make an updated build later on for that. As you can see here, the life and mana is not super great, but it's all right. It's decent. Armor is okay. This is mostly going to be focused on the armor evasion for defense, not necessarily shield. Block, I'm not sure why I got 29% there, but it's okay. When it comes to the gear, like armor, it's not that drastically important, but definitely get some stuff here that helps increase your dexterity, increase your strength, you get some life regen, and some resistance to elemental stuff as well too. I was lucky enough to get this unique weapon, which is very good. It's level 21, but I imagine I'll keep it for a long time, at least until I get something better. But I would just stick with just survivability as far as your gear, though. Anything that helps with evasion, dexterity, life regen, things like that. If you want to go energy shield, that's up to you. And help with your mana as well, too. And that is my early game Bleed Stomp build for the Huntress, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts on this. What kind of builds are you trying out as well, too? I'd love to hear from you. Are you enjoying the new updates and the sort of like newer small hot fixes they've made since releasing Dawn of the Hunt to make things better and unnerf a lot of stuff? Sound off in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful with this build guide, please hit that like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.